Hello, this is Lilian, welcoming you to the 1934th edition of the Enfield Talking Newspaper, Dateline the 19th of December 2013. The readers this week are Joan, Beverley, Rod and myself, Lilian, with Colin on the controls. The music this week are from the children from Grange Park School Choir, and it really is beautiful. I hope you enjoy it. Local stories include, and I have several Christmas messages from our Chairman Philip and Vice Chairman Diane, also on all our local MPs, leader of Enfield Council and leader of Enfield Conservative Group and the Over 50s Forum. And if you are experiencing any problems receiving your Enfield Talking newspaper, please phone Diane de Jersey on 020 805 6578. She is your listener's representative and she will be pleased to help you. I first of all have, as you've requested many times when we've done the Christmas tape, I've got changes to recycling and refuse services over the Christmas period. If your collection is normally on Monday the 23rd of December 2013, then your collection will be on Monday the 23rd of December 2013, so there's no change there. If your usual collection is the 24th of December, then again, there's no change. It will be the 24th of December. If your collection is usually on a Wednesday, which would be the 25th of December, this time it will be Friday, the 27th of December. If your normal collection is Thursday, which it will work out the 26th of December, then your collection will be on Saturday, the 28th of December. If your collection is usually Friday, which will work out the 27th of December, then it will be collected on Sunday, the 29th of December. Monday, the 30th of December, will be Monday, the 30th of December. Tuesday, the 31st of December, will be again Tuesday, the 31st, I beg your pardon, of December. Wednesday the 1st of January will be Thursday the 2nd of January. Friday the 3rd of January will be Saturday the 4th of January. Now I have the council opening hours over Christmas. Council offices will be closed on the 25th, 26th and 27th of December and 1st of January 2014. Over 500 transactions can be completed online at any time, from paying bills and charges to requesting services and reporting incidents. Online forms and information about all our services is available on www.enfield.gov.uk. For individual service opening hours during the holiday period, please visit www.enfield.gov.uk. Christmas. Now we will go over to the chemist rota. Now, Christmas Day opening for C. Atkinson, the chemist, which is on 20 the Grange Way, N21. Their telephone number is 020 8360 1671. Opening times 1300 to 1700. Rocky's Pharmacy, 14 Kendall Parade, N18, 1ND, 0208 807 5946. Their opening hours are 9 o'clock till 13 o'clock. Now, Boxing Day opening, the following pharmacies have reported that they will be open. Other pharmacies may also be open. The first one is the Asda Pharmacy, Edmonton Green Shopping Centre, 0208 367 5456, and their opening times are 900 to 1800. Asda Pharmacy, The Foyer, Asda Super, 0208 920 5710, again 900 to 1801. Boots, Enfield Retail Park, EM1 1TH, 0208 367 7019, and their opening hours 900 to 1800. Boots UK Limited, 30 to 32 Palace Gardens, EN26SN, telephone number 0208 363 1257, opening hours 10:30 to 16:30. Boots UK Limited, 29 North Square N9, OHW, 0208 807 3188. Their opening hours are 10 o'clock till 16 o'clock. Boots UK Limited, 78 Chase Side, N14, 5PH, 0208 886 2003, 900 to 1800. Sainsbury's Pharmacy, 3 Crown Road, EM1 1TH, 0208 804 3493. Their opening hours 10 o'clock to 17 o'clock. New Year's Day opening. The following pharmacies have reported that they will be open. Other pharmacies may also be open. Asda Pharmacy, Edmonton Green Shopping Centre, 0208 367 5456. Their opening times are 10 o'clock to 16 o'clock. Boots, Enfield Retail Park, EM1 1TH, 0208 367 7019. Their opening times 10:30 till 16:30. Boots UK, 78 Chase Side, N14 5PH, 01279 874 006, and their opening hours 9 till 1800. Sainsbury's Pharmacy, 3 Crown Road, EN1 1TH, 0208 804 3493, and their opening hours 1000 to 1700. NHS 111 is available 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. Calls are free from landlines and mobile phones. When to use it, you should use the NHS 111 service if you urgently need medical help or advice, but it's not a life-threatening situation. You need medical help fast, but it's not a 999 emergency. And now we go over to Joan, and we will start with all the Christmas messages. Okay, Joan.
Well, the first one has a headline which says Monty Meth, who is the life president of Enfield Over 50s Forum. He has allowed large letters to the right of this in the paper, saying it's people who make the world a better place. Now I'll read words of wisdom from here. Do you think we are going backwards? That was the question that my friend Roy, an Over 50s Forum member, put to me. He asked it having seen the Waitrose collection for Enfield Food Bank and local homeless and the Tesco meal collections for people in need, and read that 27% of children, 3.5 million of them, are living in poverty in our UK today. Add to that the result of an Age UK survey showing that 450,000 people aged 65 and over expect to spend Christmas on their own, and 76% of 1,000 GPs questioned in another survey said that between 1 and 5 patients come to them every day complaining of loneliness. So I could see where Roy was coming from, and I couldn't fault his thinking that times seem harder now for many families than they were when we were lads in the 1930s and the 1940s. There didn't seem then to be the wide disparity of incomes and wealth between neighbours that exists today. We can't turn back the clock. This materialism is a fact of life. But Christmas is not just a time for spending. It is a time for giving too. Some recent words from Archbishop of Canterbury, Justin Welby, are, I think, worth repeating. Speaking of giving at Christmas, he said, "The generous in a way that shows love and affection rather than trying to buy love and affection. Save up for the Christmas budget. Be sensible. Don't put pressure on your finances. Don't make your life miserable with Christmas." This reinforces a message I learned in my Bethnal Green home, in particular the Boys' Club, that what makes the world a better place in the people are the people, not possessions.
And now an article from Doug Taylor, leader of Enfield Council, on Miss Mandela encapsulating the spirit of putting others before ourselves. The Christmas story tells us something of that time in Palestine when the political census took Mary and Joseph to Bethlehem, and the New Testament also has stories of the subsequent actions of Herod and to the newborns. The potential for opposition would thus be prevented and maybe obliterated. In fact, for too many times in history, minorities and sometimes majorities are persecuted by those with more power. The death of Nelson Mandela and reflections of his extraordinary life and contribution to the world is a lesson to how mankind can rise above personal hurt and oppression and exert high moral values. And Christmas time is a good time to reflect on that. Despite being imprisoned for 27 years and despite the horrific iniquities of apartheid in South Africa, Mandela was willing and able to follow a route of truth and reconciliation. As he left prison for the last time, he said, "I knew if I didn't leave my bitterness and hatred behind, I'd still be in prison." For most of us, vengeance, revenge, and the exercise of new power would have been powerful and intoxicating impulses, but Mandela followed a different route. At this seasonal time, we can reflect that our capacity to work together in Enfield, put others before ourselves, and reach and sustain cohesive societies form the bedrock of both success and peace. Christmas is a fun time for family and friends, eating turkey and giving and receiving presents. It is also a spiritual time for contemplation. Nelson Mandela, perhaps more than anyone in living memory, reflected in word and deed the very essence of peace and goodwill to all men and women. And Doug goes on to wish us all of his residents a happy time over Christmas and a peaceful 2014.
And I have a message from David Burrows, who's the Member of Parliament for Enfield Southgate. It's entitled, "A Time to Remember Others." What is your most and least favourite Christmas song? I hear that Cliff Richard's Smalt Sheep, Mistletoe and Wine has been banned by Costa Coffee chain because it is the most hated, according to their customers. Although Cliff may not be to everyone's liking, Christmas is a great time for family and friends to get together, and most of us like the logs on the fire and the gifts on the tree experience. But Christmas is difficult for some, particularly in challenging financial times and especially for the elderly and those who are lonely. It has been good to see groups like the Southgate Chamber of Trade and Southgate Homebound and Disabled Association hosting Christmas meals for the infirm in our community. Christmas does often bring out the best in people, like a number of constituents who go into central London and help crisis provide food and shelter for the homeless. I'm pleased to say that by next Christmas there will be an Enfield winter night shelter organised by local churches. Whether it is the commercialisation of Christmas or a sanitised version of the Nativity story, we can easily forget the reason for the season, the birth of Jesus Christ. His birth was far from schmaltzy, being born in a stable and under the threat of death from Herod. As we look forward to 2014, we will be commemorating the outbreak of World War I a century ago. It will be an opportunity to reconnect with the memorials throughout Enfield dedicated to the local soldiers who fought for our freedoms. On a lighter note, I hope it will be a year when we can put the Ashes trauma behind us and bring the Football World Cup home. But that may be more of a dream than a reality. My best wishes to all for Christmas and a peaceful New Year.
And this is a message from your Chairman Philip and Vice Chairman Diane. And they say, 2013 has been a busy year for ETN. Thanks to Diane and Keith de Jersey, we have produced our magazine edition on CD for the first time. We had lots of positive feedback and will be producing another magazine CD in the new year. We also began broadcasting each week on Sonata. The British Wireless for the Blind Fund will make a free loan of a Sonata device to listeners who meet certain eligibility criteria. Do contact them to find out more. We are keen to know what sort of media you can use at home, whether it be cassettes, CDs or MP3 memory sticks. We want to plan for the future, and feedback from our listeners is very important to help us do this. Diane has already started to contact each of our listeners by telephone to conduct a short survey. If you haven't heard from us yet, then expect a call soon. We do not have telephone numbers for every listener. Do feel free to call Diane yourself on the usual number. 2013 was a sad year. We lost our friend and fellow listener Jeanette, who acted as ETN's minutes secretary. It has also been a year of change. We said farewell to Francis from Team B and Kate from Team A, but welcome new readers and recordists to the ETN family. In November, we said goodbye to Muriel Arthur, who stepped down from her role coordinating the production team after being an ETN volunteer for nearly 30 years. In December, we were grateful to the Enfield Choral Society, who chose us, along with Enfield Vision, as their good cause for their Christmas concert on the 14th of December, helping us to raise much-needed funds. Many of our volunteers are friends or family members of our listeners. If you know anyone who would like to become involved as an ETN volunteer in the future, please ask them to get in touch with us. Finally, may we wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year from everyone at Enfield Talking Newspaper.
Now here we come back to a comment by Nick Dubois, who is MP for Enfield North. His headline is, "It's great to be with the family." I am an unashamed sentimentalist when it comes to Christmas. I like the old times, the nostalgia, the reminiscences, remembrances, and most of all, the time with family and friends. the memories fill in the usual sort of talk of lift to give us a chance to read properly. I don't know why he mentioned reading. Here we go. Even though for just for a few days it's absolutely all that we need or want. It's also a time to be up and about, visiting local parks, shopping, counting and leisure and other facilities. For many, of course, the religious significance of the occasion is paramount. And indeed, many Christians who don't make attending church regularly as a habit throughout the year also devote time to visiting there, even at Christmas time, in their local churches. Let's not forget, however, that many people will be working this Christmas, be it in the shops and cafes across the borough, in care homes, in hospitals and GP surgeries, police and firefighters on the front line, and staff remaining for the 999 call centres as well, to name just a few of all who work. I think we all, at some point, come into contact with people putting in a shift over this time, including Christmas Day, and I'm sure you will join me in thanking them and thanking them for bringing the rest of it to enjoy this Christmas and New Year as a lovely break. I hope that you will all have a very happy Christmas, whatever you may be doing, and best wishes for 2014.
And now another Christmas message from Mr. Michael Lavender, Enfield Conservative Group Leader, who suggests that this is the time of the year to be happy, not angry. Every year, local political leaders are asked to contribute 300 words for the Advertiser's Christmas messages. Now, there are several matters about which I am angry, or about which I have a lot to say, not necessarily limited to 300 words, but I am not really convinced that a great deal of good is going to come of me setting them out here, particularly at Christmas. Christmas is not a time for politics, but to reflect on many other, if not more important things. So, I will keep this short and sweet. Have a happy Christmas.
Message from Jane Johnson, who is the Enfield Borough Commander for the Metropolitan Police. And hers is entitled, "'Tis the Season to be Wary." In the run-up to the festive season, burglars, robbers and pickpockets can ruin your Christmas. Please make sure you are not giving away your gifts and property. For burglars, the period is a time to maximise their money, whereas for us, it is an opportunity to give. For them, it is an opportunity to take. It's business as usual for us over the festive fortnight. We'll be out and about keeping Enfield safe for residents and visitors. My officers are working hard not only to prevent burglary, but also to catch burglars, and we are keeping a very close eye on suspects. You can help by not displaying wrapped presents under a tree where they can be seen through a window. When you're out, leave lights on and a TV or radio in the background. Always draw your curtains at night so that a burglar can't see inside. Shopping can also present opportunities for thieves in crowded supermarkets and shopping centres. Don't allow a thief to take your purse, your money or your mobile phone. Always be aware of the people around you, particularly those standing too close and those bumping into you. Carry valuable items in a zipped bag or an inside pocket. If you're offered goods on the cheap, always say no. Receiving stolen goods is in many ways more serious than stealing them. If you agree to buy the goods, you're involving yourself in crime, and your loved ones could be arrested for receiving stolen property. And registering your valuables on immobilise.com greatly improves the chances of having a stolen item returned and helps identify criminals. Think Immobilise.
And I have a Christmas message from Andy Love, who is the MP for Edmonton, and it's titled Community Spirit to the Fore. And he says, wow, already another year is drawing to a close. The idea that time speeds up the older you get must have some merit, because it only seems like yesterday that I was signing my Christmas cards for 2012, and here I am doing it again. Talking of Christmas cards, I had a bumper crop of entries to my annual Christmas card competition and picked a great design drawn by 5-year-old Noran Orn, who goes to Wilbury Primary School. I just couldn't resist her smiling Father Christmas. I remember last year I received a Christmas card from the Stroke Action Group in Enfield, in which they said their slogan for 2013 was going to be, "It shall be well." It's a good, positive message and is worth keeping in mind, even when, or perhaps especially when, things don't seem to be going all that well. There is no denying that it's been a tough year for many. Unemployment, particularly among young people, is still far too high locally, and the government's austerity measures mean that families' budgets are tighter than ever. Christmas really brings that home, but as I have mentioned one or two times before, it is Edmonton's community spirit which keeps our bit of the borough going strong. I was reminded of this when a load of kids from St John and St James Primary School helped me turn on the Christmas lights in 4th Street. It's essential that we work towards a better future for our area's young people, and that's why I was delighted to visit 2 new classrooms at Hazelbury Infant School this year, and the stunning new facilities at Firs Farm Primary, built using the last Labour government's Building Schools for the Future funding. A positive future isn't just for children, though, and neither is Christmas. So here's hoping there's a bit of festive cheer for everyone that will last us into the new year. We have now reached the end of side 1 of this tape. Please stop your machine now, take out the cassette, turn it over and start side 2.